Hi everyone, today's topic is angle in parallel lines, one of the most important topic in IGCSE revision. What we're going to do here, we're going to go through all the angle facts one by one, which you'll find very helpful for your examinations. So as moving forward, first we need to understand there are some rules which we need to follow while answering these questions. What are those rules? That corresponding angles are equal, alternate angles are equal, and co-interior angles are equal. These are the three main rules for angles in parallel lines. But there are 5 other important rules which you all need to remember, as they are very useful while answering the questions in exams. So those 5 rules are like this. These are also one of the important one while answering the questions in your examinations. Now there are 3 things you should learn about the angle facts. Number 1, what each of the rules is, which I recently mentioned. How am I going to spot them? And the third says that am I using these angle facts in my answer or not? How I'm going to show them. And believe me, if you can master this topic, there is one off your list. So what are the parallel lines? It's a brief conclusion of the parallel lines, as I'm pretty sure you know about it. So parallel lines are the lines which are always on an equidistance and never meet. This is the definition for you all to refer back if you wanted to write it down. But there is a simple note for you all that you can only assume these two are parallel lines if you can find these two little arrows on the lines. And there is a third line while working on angles and parallel lines we always look into is called transversal line. This line is a line that intersect two straight lines at a distinct point. So that is known as our transversal line. Rule 1. Corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. How am I going to find it out? Like these two angles are the corresponding angles and they are always equal, whether it's that side or this side. But how am I going to spot it? I will look for the alphabet called F in it. If I can find alphabet F, I can understand that this is my corresponding angle, provided the arm of the F must be a parallel line. So the angles underneath the arm of the F are always equal if they are on a parallel line. So rule 2 says alternate angles are equal. How am I going to spot them? These are the angles given to me, and I'll say angle A and angle C are equal, whereas angle B and D are equal. How? Because I will spot my alphabet Z here. Okay, provided my top and the bottom of the Z must be a parallel line, then only the inside angle of the Z will be a alternate angle and they will be equal to each other. Rule 3. Co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So these are my angles, and as per this rule, angle A and B are add up to 180 degrees. What kind of shape am I going to look for it while working in my examination? I'll look for shape C. So angles underneath the top and the bottom of the C add up to 180 degrees. Provided the top and the bottom of the C must be a parallel line, then only A and B can be considered as a 180 degrees. Now the other 5 rules which I have mentioned in my lesson, in the start of my lesson, are like this. The rule 4 will be angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. How am I going to spot it? I will find a continuous straight line with another straight line which is joining or cutting across it. So in that case, these two angles will always add up to 180 degrees. Rule 5 says that angles around the point always add up to 360 degrees. So these are my angles given. Okay, and now how am I going to spot that? I have to use this rule by saying that if you have a collection of the lines, okay, and all crossing at one point, then it's a time to use this rule. So if I have been given all the angles and I need to find the angle X, this is how I need to show my workout. And this way you can find all your marks in your questions. Next rule says that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I will look for the triangle I can look for the triangle, any triangle actually, I would say. Either it can be equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, right angle triangle, or scalene triangle. The angles inside the triangle will always add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so this is how we need to work for this rule. Rule number 7, angles of a quadrilateral, especially the interior angles, we are not talking about the exterior angles at the moment here, add up to 360 degree. So now I will look for any four-sided shape. It can be any shape. It can be a square, it can be rectangle, it can be kite, or it can be a trapezium. Okay, the inside angle will always add up to 360 degrees. How am I going to, work out on this? So here is the workout for you all, which says that, okay, if you will find the question like this is how you need to show your working to gain all the marks which is mentioned in the exam. Rule 8 says opposite angles are equal. In that case, I will look for the angles like these. So here I can find the continuous straight line which is crossing at a point, okay, and the pairs of the angle opposite to each other will always be equal to each other. Now there are some tips for you to answer these angle questions. Number 1, always write down the name of each angle facts you have used to answer the questions. Okay, if you're not going to write it down, you won't get marks. Second, parallel lines are only parallel lines if you have those little arrows to say so. If they're not available, it means they are not the parallel lines. The third one is, if you have lots of labeled angles to find and you don't know just from where to start with, then it's sometimes a very good idea to go in the alphabetical order, or whichever you can find the first. And the fourth one is, often there are lots of different ways to find the answers, so please pay attention to the details, and my way is not the only way to find the answers. So here's example 1. Example 1 says I have been given 65-degree angle and I need to find angle A. If I need to find angle A, what rule I'm going to use here? So it's a very pretty simple one. It says that angle on a straight line will add up to 180 degrees. So I need to show my workout. At the same time, I have to give my reason as well. So this is how I need to, answer this question. If I have been asked to answer B as well along with A, then it is a vertically opposite angle which are equal to each other, so it will be 65 as well. And if they ask me to find the angle C as well, so there are two different ways of doing it. First is, I can just write that angle C is equal to angle A because they are vertically opposite angle, or I can use the rule which says the angles around the point add up to 360 degrees. So I can add up all these three angles and subtract it from 360 degrees, and I can find my angle, which is 115 degrees. Example 2. Example 2 is like this, that I have been given one angle which says 120 degrees. I need to find angle D. Pretty simple one. I can just say that they are vertically opposite angles, so it will be 120 as well. I can show my workout, plus I can give my reason. Second is, if I have to find angle E, then I will take the rule of angle on a straight line add up to 180 degrees, and I can just write my answer by showing my workout, okay, and giving my reason as well. If I have not given the reason, I won't get marks. Now, if I have to find this angle F, in this case, I can always look for my rule which says that corresponding angles are equal to each other. So if I cannot find this, always look for the alphabet F or alphabet C or alphabet Z. Okay, so in that case, there are two different ways and three different ways I can see here where I can answer this question. But again, depending on you, how you wanted to answer your question, and it can be very easy if you can remember all the rules which I have mentioned earlier in this lesson. And so if they will ask me to find the angle G also, so in that G, I can just take the example of angle on a straight line and I will add up to 180 degree, okay, because one is given 120, I will subtract 120 from 180 and I'll get my answer for G as well. Here's example 3 for you all to try. There's a triangle given and there is a parallel line. First thing is I need to find out the angle P. To find angle P, I will look for the rule which says corresponding angle are equal. This is how I need to show my workout. Now if I have to work for question number Q, to work out question number Q, there are multiple ways of doing it. First, I need to find out my quadrilateral rule, where it says that angles inside the quadrilateral will add up to 360 degrees. And if I have to find all these angles, then I have to go one by one. So one angle is given 51 degrees. Angle A will be your 180 minus 51 because the angle on a straight line will add up to 180 degrees. Okay, as angle P is 51, so finding A is not that challenging. Now for O, I need to add up my angles, as angle in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Add the angles and subtract it from 180 degrees. Now it is very much easier for me to find the angle Q. And here I'll take my rule of the quadrilateral, okay, which says that add up to 360 degrees. Now here are some exam type questions for you all to try. Question 1 is here, where A, B, C and D, E, F are parallel lines. BEG is a straight line. Angle GEF is equal to 47 degrees. Now work out the size of the angle marked X. Now remember, you need to give a reason for your answer. Give it a pause and try it by yourself. And there are some other questions as well. Let me reflect it for you. And you can try these questions and check your answers after finishing it. Here are the answers for question number 1. Here's the answer for question number 2. And the answer for question number 3. If you need any help to find the answers, please message me in the comment box and I will share the answers with you all in more elaborated way and with more reasoning. Here's the question number 4 for you all to try. Give it a pause and try it by yourself. Challenge yourself and see the answers after. Here are the answers for you all. Check your answers and see where have you gone wrong and where were you right. Now these are some questions which are medium to hard. So please try and challenge yourself. Pause the video and try it by yourself. Here are the answers for you of question number 5. This is how you need to answer the questions. And for question number 6 and question number 7. I hope you all managed to understand what are the facts in angles and angles in parallel lines and all the rules regarding this topic. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for our next topic, which is angles in polygons. Take care. Goodbye.